Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' It's D. About to react to this impressive vid. It's titled Jada and Will Smith's Marriage is a Sham. I see another title, though, for a video on the side, and it says that Jada has revealed that her and Will have not been together since 2016. What? So when he slapped Chris Rock, y'all wasn't even married anymore. So I don't know if they're officially divorced or just separated, but this makes sense because in that video where her and Will were talking about the August entanglement situation, she said it had been so long since I felt good. And when I heard that, I was like, so they ain't fucking. Clearly, that tells me that her and Will had no intimacy whatsoever. That's what that told me. But I was thinking, okay, maybe they're just still married and, you know, the sex is gone, the spark is gone, but they just, you know, being an old married couple and just not caring. That's what I assumed. But apparently, they wasn't even together. So all this is making sense. It's all making sense. She should have been said this. Anyway, let's get all the tea, child. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the impressive channel. Jada Pinkett Smith recently dropped the bombshell that she and Will Smith have been separated for 7 years. She actually sat down on the Today Show and revealed this information. And when I heard this, I was like, man, Jada and Will's marriage is truly a sham. Listen to this mess.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Like, what was the reason?
Wow. I think just not being...
So y'all fake. Why he kissing your bald head acting like y'all in a loving relationship? Y'all are so fake. Niggas is fake, okay? All this celebrity shit fake. Fake. Why do all of this? It's one thing to just pull up together like, hey, you know, we still have a good relationship. They invited us as a duo. So cool, let's pull up and be on some friendly shit when y'all know the truth. But no, y'all taking it a step further and doing all this lovey-dovey affectionate shit. But y'all know y'all separated. Ain't even fucking nothing is going on. And y'all got separate entanglements. What? Niggas is fake.
Ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us,
Girl,
how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, why it fractured? That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying.
What are the lot of
we
things?
were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be. I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. And I just haven't been able to break that promise.
But you still live separately.
We live separately.
Now, it shouldn't be a surprise that Will and Jada...
Egghead, if you ain't gonna spill all the tea, don't spill none of the tea at all. And by the way, I'm not making fun of her balding. I'm making fun of her head shape is a little funny. But also on top of that, I just going back to when people were trying to make it seem like she had cancer or something. Like, she said she had alopecia. Like, she's losing her hair. Okay, that's a common thing that a lot of people, you know, have to face. It's just hair. It's not the fucking end of the world. It's not a health disease or a serious ailment. So calm the fuck down. People's like, wow, this is a serious matter. No, it's not. Alopecia, it's not going to affect your health or cut your life in half or anything like that. So pipe down.
Issues in their marriage. I mean, we've seen it all play out in the public eye. But I am confused at the fact that they're separated and have been living separate lives. But for some reason, they don't want to get a divorce. And I'm not advocating for them to get a divorce, but I just feel like if they're not happy and if they can't work their issues out and if they've been living apart for so long, is it really worth it to stay together at this point? I mean, there's been so much trust issues and infidelity in their marriage, and their image has been shattered in the public eye. So I'm just wondering, if they're not staying together for the love, if they're not staying together for the image,
business.
why are they together?
Impressive.
That's the big question. And I thought about it, and I will say this. They could be staying together to protect their assets. I mean, they built a brand together, and if they get a divorce, it will affect them financially.
It's gonna
I think that's one of the reasons why
complicate
Jada
shit.
is hesitant to leave in a sense, because she has benefited from being connected
Cheaper
to
to
Will,
keep her.
and I don't think she knows that things will be financially easier for her without him. If she were to file for divorce, she can't rely on child support because the children are grown. And also, it has been put out there that she cheated on Will with August Alsina. So I don't think she would get the upper hand in the situation if she were to file for divorce. I think that's a part of her hesitancy as well. I think she's just scared to walk away from everything that she's known for the last 20 plus years. And also, Will's not the type to want to get a divorce either. He didn't even want to get a divorce from his first wife. And it's interesting because Will actually fell in love with Jada while he was married to his first wife, Cherie. But he didn't want to leave Cherie because he wanted to avoid getting a divorce. He viewed divorce as a failure. But Cherie was the one who filed for divorce from him.
So you want to do everything else. You want to suck and fuck other people, but just not get a divorce because, oh my God, you can't do that. But I'm going to go and slut around with other people. Well,
she actually left him. If she didn't leave, they would have still been together.
And I remember I had to get up from dinner when I had a realization that I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with.
But you would have stayed with her forever.
Forever. I would have never gotten divorced.
Yeah.
I was never getting divorced.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get divorced.
Yeah. And then she divorced you.
And then Cherie filed for divorce. She hit me hard. Cherie filed for divorce on Valentine's Day.
period.
Ouch! Ouch! And I still told her, I said, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't have a divorce. And she hit me with so you're going to make somebody stay with you who doesn't love you. And I was like, what?
After Cherie filed for divorce from Will, Will immediately started dating Jada. Jada was going to move away from Hollywood and she was going to live her quiet life on the farm.
He was cheating
but Will was like,
the
no,
wife
you're
of
going to be
Jada.
my girl. So she picked up and moved to LA with him. And I think Jada kind of liked the fairy tale romance at first, but she realized that if she was going to be with somebody like Will, her life and career wasn't going to be the same. She wasn't going to be able to do anything she wanted to do because it would reflect on Will. Also, Will's career eclipsed hers. So I do think in some ways Jada resented that. I think she just didn't like the idea of everything revolving around Will and his brand. She wanted some attention. She wanted to have her own voice. She wanted to do her own thing. But she couldn't at one point because Will called the shots. He was the big superstar making all the money. And also he was pretty much consumed in trying to make sure everything was perfect. And it was really more so for his ego more than anything. He knew that if he presented his family in a perfect light, it would be really good for his brand. And he wanted to create a perfect life for his family. And his intentions weren't bad at all. He wanted to give his family what he never had growing up. But at the same time, he was doing a lot of this from a more self-centered angle. And he wasn't considering the feelings of those involved, especially Jada. He didn't really consider how she felt a lot of times. And for a long time, Jada was depressed.
As a couple, we are magical.
I was laughing at the way Will was looking.
We win in the material world. Externally, our family was winning, right? And there was a period where mommy woke up and cried 45 days straight. I started keeping a diary.
Damn. You missed some days.
It was every morning. I think that's the worst I've ever felt in our marriage.
Oh.
Wow.
I was failing miserably. But on the outside, I was winning. During that time, I remember saying, I built this house for you. I called it her lake. And she said, you built this house for you.
Yeah.
It seems to me like Jada was unhappy in the marriage for a very long time before she and Will decided to...
I wish the fuck I would stay with somebody that is, and being in a relationship with them is causing me to cry for 40 days straight. I cannot even imagine being sad enough to cry for 40 days straight.
Separate. I don't think she was completely satisfied with where she was in her career. I don't think she was satisfied within herself. I don't think she was satisfied with some of Will's behavior either. I mean, even though we don't know Will's dirt like that, both Jada and Will are in Hollywood. They've seen some things and done some things, okay? I think they both did some things to each other. But I think Jada just wasn't satisfied with Will. And honestly, I don't think she was 100% in love with him either. I think her true love has always been Tupac. I mean, anytime she talks about Tupac, she just wells up with emotion.
Talk about my relationship with Pac and trying to figure that out, and
she's romanticizing this child. If he stayed alive, you would have been like, anyway.
Yeah. Because he was one of those people that I expected to be here. My upset is more anger. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that he left me. And I know that's not true. And it's a very selfish way to think about it, but I really did believe that he was going to be here for the long run.
Right. The type of relationship we had, you only get that once in a lifetime. So he was like a brother and father figure to me. Very protective, and we took really good care of each other. We took really good care of each other, the best that we could.
My relationship was really special.
I guess I'm confused. I don't understand.
And it was very complicated. And really through my relationship with Pac would have shown people what he truly was.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
He said,
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, that dude. And you know, that was in the early days.
Yeah.
But she just loved him like he was the image of perfection. But she was with the Fresh Prince. But yeah, no, I was deeply, deeply insecure. And just I wasn't man enough to handle that relationship.
So you heard Will say he was jealous of Tupac, and I can understand it because
that man
Jada doesn't hide her love for Pac. She truly loves him, and I honestly believe she had an affair with the R&B singer August Alsina because he reminded her of Pac in some way.
Girl, I know you fucking
She
lying.
said August helped give her
Tupac
closure
where?
when it came to Tupac.
Through you, I've been able to close some open wounds that were left in regards to my relationship to Pac.
That's
What?
a thing to say, but it comes to show you how tightly Jada has
I'm
held
so
on
confused.
to Pac because that was her ideal man.
Where's the correlation?
And I feel like Will was there to just fill a void for her, and he just couldn't meet the standard. And that's another reason why she probably was unhappy in the marriage as well. And I think Will was unhappy too. He was unhappy that she was unhappy, but they stayed together for the sake of their brand and their image. However, their marriage started to crumble when Jada had an entanglement with August Alsina. Once August came out and said he had an affair with Jada and Will gave him his blessing to date her, that's when everything started tumbling down. And Will and Jada tried to do damage control, but they failed miserably.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into
Oh,
an
they did
entanglement
say
with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, they did say it. They pretty much said in so many words we were separated. And then when we separated, you start fucking somebody else. But that's what happens. Unless you separate to think things over or to come back together and rekindle. When you separate, it's like, all right, we are apart right now. We'll get divorced eventually. We'll deal with that at a later time. But anyway, I ain't with you. You ain't with me. Go do you. I'm going to do me. That's what that means. So if they were separated, then she was free to go fuck who she wanted because I'm sure he was doing the same thing.
It was a relationship.
I don't know
Absolutely.
who was so
We ride
impressed
together.
about this.
We got together.
Bad marriage for life.
Yeah, that was awkward. That was very, very awkward. But they truly meant it. I mean, they're still together even though they're not happy. They know their marriage is toxic. They know they're not in love. They live separately, but they're still going to be together for whatever reason. And I really think Will was willing to continue to put up a united front with Jada. I mean, it kind of showed in his actions. Even when Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's bald head at the Oscars, Will got up on that stage and slapped the piss out of Chris Rock. And that was his way of letting the world know and his peers know that they can't fix their mouth to talk about Jada. And that was his way of protecting her. Even with all they've been through, he still was trying to protect her in that moment. And his career took a hit because of that. But unfortunately, Jada hasn't been able to protect Will in the same way because she still keeps running her mouth. And the more she reveals, the worse she makes their marriage look. And at this point, their marriage can't look any worse.
I don't think
but
she cares at this
Jada's
point.
just not making it easier. I mean, she recently revealed that Chris Rock asked her out on a date when he thought that she and Will were getting a divorce.
Ooh.
This is what she told to people. I think every summer all the reports would come out that me and Will were getting a divorce. And this particular summer, Chris, he thought we were getting a divorce. So he called me and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled and he profusely apologized and that was that. Now, I honestly think Jada could have kept this story to herself. It's just too much information to reveal. You know what I mean? She could have kept that.
You hear
It opens
me?
up that whole Oscar drama yet again. And Will has been desperately
If
trying
she's
to
telling
get
us, of
past
course
it.
Will knew.
He really has. And if it's true that Chris Rock was trying to get with Jada, it actually makes even more sense why Will slapped him. But either way, I don't think Jada should have revealed this because we just don't need to know it. And now I hear Jada is revealing this tell-all book. I don't like it because I feel like it's just going to bring even more negative attention on her and Will's marriage.
It's not giving.
I just feel like everything that's happening now is really a precursor to a divorce. I think eventually they will get a divorce because right now there's nothing left. The love is gone. They're not living together. Their brand has really crumbled in the public eye. I mean, I think they will eventually divorce, but it's really going to depend on who fouls first. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this video.
Child, I am confusion. First off, I'm very unclear about her relationship dynamic with Tupac because I thought it was romantic, but then she said that they had a brother. He was like a brother-father figure to her. Like, I don't understand what's happening. But then she did say it was complicated. But if I got a complicated relationship with a nigga, if it's even a little bit romantic, I'm not going to say he's no fucking father or brother figure at all. So that's weird. Anyway, yes, Jada is spilling the tea. Jada is revealing all of the imperfections of her marriage. Maybe she wants out and she wants to lay the foundation before, you know, she does file for divorce. She wants to let people know that, hey, this is why we getting divorced. All these things have occurred in our marriage. It's been, you know, crumbling for years. Maybe that's what she's trying to do. I'm not exactly sure, but yes, this is a hot mess. It just goes to show how fake Hollywood is, how fake these celebrities' lives are. You know, they've been separated since 2016, but been showing up on red carpets, hand in hand, being all affectionate for the cameras. Fake, just fake. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.